You're still training 5 days a week, you're eating clean, tracking your macros, doing everything right, and you're losing muscle and getting softer anyway. Cool. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why that's happening and why the fix has nothing to do with training harder or eating less. I'm Allison. I've spent over 15 years coaching athletic women in their 40s and 50s, women who are fit, disciplined, and have never stopped doing the work. And what I'm about to share with you is the thing almost every trainer and almost every piece of advice you'll find online gets completely backwards. Here's what I see constantly with the women I work with. These are active women in midlife who are still training consistently. They're running miles, they're getting their WODs in, they are eating well, they are hitting their macros, they're staying disciplined, and they still are expecting to see results from those efforts. Yet, their bodies start looking and performing differently. That hard-earned muscle definition is fading, fat now accumulates around your belly, and your performance and recovery feel off. It feels like nothing has changed in your habits, but everything has changed in your results. This is one of the most common complaints among active women in midlife. And because nothing about your training or nutrition habits have changed, women will often assume the cause is their hormones or perimenopause, aging, or a slower metabolism. The advice that you'll find online sounds like this. Cut your carbs. Why don't you try fasting? Blame cortisol. And athletic women, the overachievers, we take it seriously. We stack them. We double down. None of it moves the needle. That's because this advice was designed for people who are not exercising enough or at all. It's not designed for you. So what actually works? That's what the rest of this video is about. When athletic women hit that midlife wall and their performance and body composition start shifting, we do what we do best. We work harder, we train more, we add more intensity, we do more cardio, we cut more carbs, all in an effort to create a deeper calorie deficit to attempt to rebuild our strength and athleticism and contain that unwanted fat gain. But here's the issue. Burn more, eat less is the formula for skinny, and skinny is not athletic. By following the advice meant for the sedentary general population, athletic women over 40 are doubling down on the wrong approach, and it makes everything worse. This is why you're feeling more fatigued. Your sleep quality is suffering. You have worsening brain fog and irritability. Your performance and muscle definition are fading. If you're constantly exhausting yourself by trying to burn more calories while eating less, you won't have the energy to train in a way that builds strength or preserves muscle. Your own efforts will start working against you. And this is the part where many active women start to seriously question if the problem is their age, their shifting midlife hormones, or a slowing metabolism. All things that we have very little control over. But the research just doesn't support that. Human metabolic rates don't change much between the ages of 20 and 60. Menopausal reductions in estrogen don't directly cause muscle loss or fat gain. They may cause other issues that affect our ability to train and eat well, sleep, and recover, but they aren't the reason for midlife fat gain, muscle loss, or performance decline. The biggest drivers of midlife performance declines and body composition shifts are lifestyle and training strategy. We just tend to move less as we age. Our jobs and lives require more sedentary time than they used to. Even healthy eaters often underestimate their actual caloric intake or rely too heavily on their wearable devices, which are wildly inaccurate, to tell them how many calories they've burned. And many women aren't hitting the macronutrient and fiber targets needed for optimal health. But the bigger issue for performance and muscle loss, the thing that really affects body composition after 40, is that we, both men and women, lose roughly 3 to 8% of our muscle mass per decade after the age of 30 if our training doesn't actively preserve it. But here's where I see women have the disadvantage. Remember that recipe for skinny? Burn more, eat less? That's disproportionately applied by women over 40. We grew up in a fitness era that, unlike the men, didn't teach us the importance of lifting heavy, training close to failure, accumulating stimulating reps, power output, and sprinting. No, we were taught the recipe for skinny, not the recipe for strong and athletic. And as a result, we often end up defaulting to the burn it approach when we get frustrated, but that's where our results and our bodies would benefit more from a build it approach. Performance and muscle aren't gained or preserved just by being active. They're preserved by training with the right strategy. Without the right stimulus, muscle slowly declines, even if you stay active. And as muscle declines, performance fades. As muscle declines, unless you reduce your caloric intake, you'll lose muscle and gain fat. And this is where the gradual but significant body composition shifts start to happen. So now you know the real reason this is happening. It's not your hormones, it's not your age, it's not your metabolism. It's your training strategy, which means it's completely fixable. But here's the thing, most women find out training is the problem and immediately try to fix it the same way they broke it, by doing more. And that's the next mistake. So in the next video, I'm gonna show you exactly what your training should look like to stop losing muscle and start building it back. It's the most important thing I teach, and it's on your screen right now.